every turn.
If you're trying to limit how much you indulge, there are easy ways to do it. Joining us now, celebrity nutritionist Dr. Daryl Joffrey. Thanks so much for coming on and joining us.
My pleasure. It's great to see you both.
All right, so behind us you can see cookies and all kinds of deliciousness. And I know you're going to be like, don't eat that, right? Is that so? Like, what are you supposed to do? How do you not treat yourself to all this deliciousness back here? Why, how do you not?
No, it's not about deprivation, guys. It's about moderation. Look, the holidays can be very, very stressful, so we have to really set ourselves up for success. I mean, think about what happens. We go from Halloween to Thanksgiving to Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's. And what are we doing? Most of us are stress eating those foods that we just looked at. And then we get to New Year's, we wake up feeling depleted and tired and sick, right? So we have to avoid that. And to do that, we really have to kind of have this balance in mind. We got to find our balance. And when you do that, it's okay to indulge a little bit. But the next morning, you got to get right back at it. Put those foods in your body that strengthen it from the inside out, and you got to course correct. You don't want to let yourself veer off too far, because if you go too far, it takes that much time to get back.
Oh, it's so true, because you do something, you do bad, or you veer off, and then you go, already. I mean,
I've already eaten the thing.
Here.
I might as well get the other thing and the other thing. I mean,
but you say it's really important to come prepared. So how do you do that, especially this time of year?
I mean, Tamsin, that's my mantra. Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Anticipation, guys, is the key to being healthy. So again, whether it's the holiday party or a dinner with friends and family, you got to look at the whole day. You got to get it right before that. When you look at that day, 80% of those foods need to be healthy, strengthening foods. Then you have 20% a little bit leeway. So when you get to that dinner, skip the bread basket. Instead of having 3 glasses of wine, have a glass of wine. And when the dessert comes, not one for everybody, one for the table, and then you can have 3 bites. You're still going to be satisfied, and that's the key. But you're not going to indulge so much that you feel so sick, and it leads you down that rabbit hole.
All right.
I got to stay away from the rabbit hole.
Tell us about craving hacks. So, what are they, and, why should we have them on hand?
Well, again, think about it. When we're stressed, we tend to stress eat. And what are the foods that we typically go for? Junk food, AKA sugar, right? So we have to have some craving hacks ready to go. One of my favorites, guys, is what we call the core of a strength eating diet. It's green juice. Yes, go green. The reason why this is so amazing is it's loaded with magnesium. That mineral is one of the most powerful minerals to neutralize the acid and the inflammation that you get from sugar. Another one of my favorites is what we call the belly fat burning shot, also the sugar craving fat shot. And what this is basically is 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, the juice of half of a lemon, mix it together, drink on an empty stomach. It's going to satiate you. It's going to suppress your hunger. And most important, it's going to cut down on those sugar cravings, so you're not going to indulge as much as we would have if we didn't do these hacks.
I like that one.
I might try that. That's
before.
Interesting.
Okay.
Is that new?
And it burns the belly fat. That's another great.
When do you do that? Like
before
you go out to dinner or something, or any time of day or morning or what?
Yeah, you can do it a half hour before you go out to dinner. That's a great time. If you're not going to have a dinner, I think a great time to do is like mid-morning. So you're really kind of meeting the demands of the stresses that are going to hit you later that day. And it's not just, physical stress. I'm talking about emotional stress. That's when we tend to stress eat the most.
That's a new one. You haven't dropped that bit of knowledge for us before. So okay, you're mixing it up. I was expecting apple cider vinegar or something like that, and you're dropping olive oil and some
there's
lemon
more.
juice.
Because he also has.
I'm so impressed.
He has healthy.
You guys know.
Yes,
Look at you two.
He must have been studying for this. Healthy holiday swaps. I always like these because I think they're super important, because one of these is eventually going to end up on your table or somewhere that you can get to them. So let's talk about what you have.
So again, guys, don't give up the foods that you love. What we want to do is find better versions of those foods. So the first one, maca hot chocolate. This is a spinoff of the traditional hot chocolate. So instead of using milk chocolate, which is loaded with dairy, which is very mucus forming, it's not good for your gut, plus it turns into lactic acid from the sugar, what we're going to actually do is a spinoff with coconut milk or almond milk. You're going to froth that. You add some maca powder into that. The maca powder is great for hormones. It's great for hot flashes. And when you add the turmeric in, that's good for inflammation. This one, guys, I promise you, it tastes delicious, it's nutritious, and even Santa Claus is going to love that one. And then the other one, the avocado chocolate mousse, this one, I say that this is God's butter. That's what avocado is. I mean, it's like the most perfect food. It's going to give it that creamy texture, similar to the mousse that you typically would have. And then when you actually add in the coconut water and mix those together, you're going to get a nice creamy texture and that raw cacao powder is unrefined as opposed to that milk chocolate. So again, it's lots of minerals. So you're still going to get that really rich chocolatey taste, but again, you're not going to get the acidic nature of all those inflammatory foods that come in with the traditional staple mousse. And I'm telling you guys, this one tastes so good. You're going to think that you're cheating. You can have this as a snack. You can have this as a dessert. And this is one that you can have a dessert or breakfast. Yes, I give you permission to do that.
I like that. Well, I've got a couple
I'm
things
impressed.
to try now, right?
Yeah, I actually might. Usually these guys that come on with their like, this and that, and I'm like, oh yeah, sure.
Drink
whatever.
water.
But I might actually try a thing or two from this segment. So thank you very much.
My pleasure. Go for it, guys.
Dr. Daryl, always good to see you. Thank you.
You too. Happy
we could probably
holidays.
even get G to try some of this stuff. What do you